Being a night security guard isn't supposed to be exciting. You walk, you check, you write things down in a logbook. But some nights, the building you're watching over feels alive. It was my second week on the job at the Wexler Corporate Tower, a massive glass and steel monster in the middle of nowhere. The building had been mostly empty since the company moved its main operations overseas, but they still paid for overnight security to keep vandals and squatters out. Sounded easy enough. A paid nap, basically. Except nobody told me about the 13th floor. My shift ran from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. I'd start in the lobby, do my rounds, check the security feeds, and log everything every 2 hours. Routine. But from the very first night, something felt off. When I stood near the main elevator bank, I'd hear this faint hum. Not the usual electrical buzz, more like a whisper hidden just beneath the sound of the fluorescent lights. I'd always brush it off. Old buildings make weird noises, right? But that whisper, sometimes it sounded like it was trying to say something. One night, my supervisor, Jim, stopped by with a couple of coffees. He was an older guy, been with the company for a decade. I tried to make a joke, said he must know every ghost in the building by name by now. He didn't laugh. He just took a slow sip of his coffee and said, "Don't go above 12. I thought he was just messing with the new guy. But later, when I was in the elevator, I noticed something strange on the panel. There was no button for the 13th floor. It just went from 12 straight to 14. Corporate superstition, I figured. Lots of buildings do that. But when I got bored and checked the building schematics in the office binder, there it was, clear as day. Floor 13, listed as storage and data archives. Around 2 a.m., I was in the control room, half asleep, staring at the wall of monitors when I saw it. Movement on camera 12, one of the feeds for the upper floors, but the timestamp in the corner read 13F. That's impossible. There was no button for it, no access listed in my route. But the feed was live, a flickering, grainy hallway where motion lights were turning on one by one, and someone was walking down it. I leaned closer, my heart starting to pound. The figure was wearing the same uniform as me, the dark jacket, the company badge. They were holding a flashlight just like mine. I grabbed my radio. "Jim, you in the building? Are you on 13? The radio crackled with static. Then, a faint voice, almost completely drowned by interference. "Don't go up." I checked the elevator status board. One of them was already moving, going up, floor by floor. No one else had access at this hour. By the time I sprinted to the elevator doors, the car had stopped, somewhere between 12 and 14. The panel next to the door flickered, and for just half a second I saw a button appear where there wasn't one before, a glowing, inviting 13. Every instinct in my body screamed at me not to, but I pressed it. The elevator shook violently, the lights flickering on and off, the sound of its descent playing in reverse. When the doors finally shuttered open, I knew instantly I wasn't supposed to be there. The hallway stretched on far longer than the schematics ever showed. All the lights were dim and tinted a sickly yellow like old film. There was a thick layer of dust on everything, and the air smelled like wet concrete and burned wiring. Each office door I passed had names etched into the glass. Wexler, Jensen, Martin, names I'd never heard of. Then I saw a room with its door ajar. Inside, there were dozens of old CRT monitors, all flickering with static, and on one of them was me. I was watching myself, sitting in the control room, staring at the monitors, watching this exact moment play out. I took a step closer, trying to make sense of what I was looking at, and then the figure on the screen looked up. It looked directly at me, but it wasn't me anymore. Its face was unnaturally pale, its eyes were empty black pits, and it smiled. I stumbled back, dropping my flashlight. The beam rolled across the floor and caught something. Footprints, wet ones, leading back toward the elevator. My heart was a drum against my ribs. I followed them, but halfway there, the emergency lights flared red. A distorted low voice came over the intercom, a voice I recognized. It was mine. "You shouldn't have come here." I ran. The elevator was gone, just an empty, dark shaft behind a cracked door. And then I heard it. Something started walking behind me. Slow, deliberate footsteps. Not echoes, real ones. I forced myself to turn, and standing at the far end of the hallway was me. Same uniform, same flashlight. Only his eyes were hollow, and his mouth hung open like a broken speaker. When he spoke, the sound came out through every intercom speaker on the floor at once. We don'd leave. We watch. I don't remember running. I don't remember how I got out of that hallway or that building. All I know is, when the sun came up, Jim found me sitting in the lobby, shaking. He checked the cameras. They showed nothing. No 13th floor, no second guard, no missing footage. It was like it never happened. Jim just sighed and said quietly, "You're not the first one to find it, but you came back. That's what matters." Then he handed me my final paycheck and told me I didn't need to come back for another shift. Sometimes late at night when I can't sleep, I'll still hear that faint hum of fluorescent lights. And when I look in a mirror, for just a second, I swear my reflection blinks a half second later than I do. Maybe I never really left that floor. Maybe a part of me is still up there, doing my rounds. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Stay safe out there.